Hello YouTube, Dirk here from MtG Nostalgia, and I welcome you all to the first episode of my new series MtG TimeWalk. In this series I want to go through Magic the Gathering's history chronologically by opening boosters. We're gonna open boosters. We're gonna start with these 5 sets and we're gonna see what we find in them, and we're gonna talk a bit about the cards, and I hope you find this as exciting, and I hope we're gonna open some exciting cards. So I think we're gonna go ahead. We'll start not with the first pack because the alpha and beta packs are so expensive. Sorry, I cannot afford those. We're gonna start in April of 1994 with a pack of revised Visit the Shores of Imagination. This was the first set I ever bought. I started in, I think, late 1994, and this was the core set back then. And beware, you should not buy these old boosters. I did something not really super intelligent, bought those online, because that's really risky to buy those, because you can see through these old boosters with the old design. I made a different video on that. We're gonna look through those. These should be actually the uncommons and the rares. You're gonna see a list in the video now with the top pulls in each slot, because of course revised features the old dual lands, of course, but there are also some good pulls like Demonic Tutor in the uncommon slot and Lightning Bolt in the common slot. So let's see what we can find. This should be the commons. Swamp. Basic lands could be found in the common and uncommon slots back then. Power Leak. Curdabe. That was, for a while, that was the best common in that set. If you got a Tiger out in the first turn, then the Curdabe, you had a 2-3 in the first turn. That was a perfect first turn. Or you can just play a Mountain. Raiders reprint from Arabian Nights, because Revised was the first core set to feature reprints. Sea Serpent, the big blue creature back then, because although green was the color with the biggest creatures, blue had the second biggest creatures, because they had all the big sea monsters. Island, Stone Rain, destroyed any one land. Island. Oh, and by the way, Revised was the first set to feature the tap symbol. That was the first tap symbol. Before that, the cards just said tap to add 1 blue to your mana pool. Grey Ogre, bad common. Flight, doesn't look like we get any of the lightning bolts right now. That should be the first uncommon. Swamp, Counterspell, oh, that's actually quite good. Classic uncommon. Callan Warlord, that would have been a very good card back then. It gets bigger the more creatures you get, and the rare. Ooh, what the fuck. Oh, I think we got scammed. It's really bad, because this is not rare, this is an uncommon. That is crap. Well, at least I get... that's crap. But that can happen when you buy boosters online, sadly. I guess it can still happen today with the new boosters. Anyway, you can see that the revised cards, they have some very faded colors, because they had difficulties with the prints back then, Wizards of the Coast. So the colors aren't that strong as you used to by now. And also, Revised was the first basic set to be translated into other languages. It was translated into Italian, French and German. We're gonna move on to the next set, Legends. The first big expansion. Like any other world, Dominia, it was called Dominia back then, not Dominaria, has its legends. In this new expansion you'll meet Johan, Gabriel Angelfire, Seritri, Skarzam, Hunding and many more. As you delve into Dominia's mythic past, you'll discover over 300 new spells, potent artifacts and creatures with the power to defy death. Ooh. So enter the world of Legends and join the heroes of old in the struggle for Dominia. We're gonna do that. Legends came out in June '94. It was the first set to feature legendary cards and the first set to feature gold cards. And because it featured so many new rules, it came with a rule sheet. I'm actually not sure. I think it starts with the uncommons again. So I think this should be 3 uncommons, a rare, and these should be the commons. Gaseous form. You can see it also has the faded colors, but has a black background, and this is the expansion symbol. Column top. Ozai Vultures. Enchanted Being. Eiling Leprechaun. Immolation. Venerian Gold. Glyph of Reincarnation. There was a cycle of glyphs because they all interact with walls, and legends had a lot of walls in them, so creatures with defender. There we have one. A wall of caltrops, and one or more other walls join to block an attacker, and no other creatures besides walls block the character. Wall of caltrops gains banding ability until end of turn. Ow, 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 ow. Nobody needs banding. Headless Horseman. It's a 2/2 for 3 mana. That gives you an idea of the power level of the creatures back then. The Venom Archer does 1 damage to attacking or blocking creatures. Ghosts of the Damned can tap to give a creature -1/-0 until end of turn. Disharmony is our first uncommon. Target attacking creature comes under your control untapped. Return to former controller at end of turn. And this creature is no longer considered to have attack. Play before defense is chosen. So you can steal one of your attackers and block one of the other creatures with them. Dream Code. It's an enchantment, enchant creature. So it's an aura. Caster may change target creature's color to any other color. This ability is played as an interrupt, limit of 1 change per turn. Cost to tap, maintain, or use a special ability if the target creature remains entirely untapped. And you can also see the flavor text has a Bible quote. So back then they still used other works like the Bible or the Quran or Shakespeare or anything like that. A Great Wall. Oh, great. Creatures with Planeswalk may be blocked as if they did not have this ability. And are rare. Legends is quite known for having some of the most powerful cards in Magic's history and some of the weakest. So let's hope that we do not pull a dud like Wood Elemental. No, we have Quagmire. Creatures with Swamp Walk may be blocked as if they did not have this ability. Well. You can see the parallels. Moving on to August of 1994. This is The Dark. This is the 4th expansion that came out. You can see in the text that in the video that the top pulls do not feature any rare pulls because this is a small expansion. It also has only 8 cards, and there was no rare sheet. There was only a common and an uncommon sheet, and cards either printed 3 times on the uncommon sheet or 1 time. And the U1s are considered the rares of the set. There's one C1, which is Maze of Ith, which would be the top pull in the common slot. But we're going to start with 2 of the uncommons. Electric Eel. The Dark was also the first set to feature enemy color cards, because this is a blue card that uses red mana. That was unheard of before. The Dark featured the first of these cards. Diabolic Machine. For 7 mana, a 4/4 that can regenerate for 3. Waterworm. Murk Dwellers. Brainwash. Ghost Ship. Morale. And Goblins of the Flag. Sadly, no Maze of Ith here. Gonna move on to November of 1994. Fallen Empires. Fallen Empires was the first set to feature decent production numbers. In fact, it was in fact overproduced. There were still sets lying around years after the print run had ended, and it is known as one of the weakest sets in Magic's history. It has one of the best flavor. There's some in-color fighting, like in red there were orcs and goblins, and we were fighting other red creatures, the dwarves, and all of the colors had different conflicts. It was also the first set that featured different artwork on the same functional card, so you could have commons with up to 4 different artworks, but they were the same card. And it's also a small set, so it only has an uncommon and a rare sheet. Tidal Influence is our first enchantment. You also use lots of counters. You can put tide counters on them, and creatures either get -2, -0, or +2, +0. Thallon's Chant. During your upkeep, pay 1 green or bury Thallon's Chant. Whenever a player puts a swamp into play, Thallon's Chant deals 3 damage to him or her, unless that player puts a -1/-1 counter on a target creature he or she controls. Lots of color hate going on in that set, and actually the set featured so many counters that they had an issue of The Duelist, their magazine, and they had a sheet of cardboard counters to use with the set. Icatian Infantry, it can get Banding or First Strike. Brass Claw, Orcs. Icatian Javelineers, that's actually a good card, because the real playable cards in that set are found in the common slot, and Icatian Javelineers is one of them. Comes into play with a Javelin counter, and you can remove that and tap to ping for 1. Dwarven Soldier, you can see the Dwarven Soldier, if it's blocks or is blocked by Orcs, it gets a bonus, so that's one of the conflicts in that color, Dwarves versus Orcs. Basil Thrall, that's okay, it's a 1/2, and you can sacrifice it to add 2 mana. And Vodalian Soldier, some merfolk. Also, there was a strong tribal component. And our last set for today is this booster of 4th edition. Came out in May of 1995. And the big shock was that the dual lands, the original dual lands, were not printed in that set. It featured reprints from the Dark and from Legends, and also a bit from Antiquities and Arabian Nights. But the most valuable cards, like the dual lands, and also like Vesuvian Doppelganger and Fork from 3rd edition, they weren't reprinted in 4th. And instead they added Sylvan Library, Land Tax, Strip Mine, also Lightning Bolt can be found in that set. There's also the 3 uncommons, and the rare should be in the front. And Gauges, oh, we see, that's a reprint. You can see original set, black border, expansion symbol, and in a reprint, the reprint set's got white borders and no expansion symbol. Gauges form, Grey Ogre, we've seen that one, we've seen that one, Wall of Wood, pretty unexciting, 0/3 wall, Unsummon, no, that's okay. Psychic Venom, Goblin Rock Sled was a reprint, and it also got errata to be goblins, because this is just a summon rock sled, and back in the day the creature cards were called summon spells, so this would be creature goblin rock sled, yeah, after the errata probably. War Mammoth, 3/3 trample, classic green creature. Death Ward regenerates a creature. Twiddle, tap on, tap target land, artifact or creature, quite useful. That was actually in alpha and beta and unlimited, got taken out of revised and then reprinted back and forth, because I think they thought the card was too strong, because it enabled some combos with some of the powerful artifacts like Time Vault. Bird Maiden, a 1/2 flyer in red. That is exciting because it's a common red card that flies. Pyrotechnics. It's actually for 5 mana you can split 4 damage any way you want. That's actually quite okay. A White Knight, protection from black, first strike for 2 mana. Actually quite good. That's actually a really playable card. I think I have one of my commander decks. Backfire. Blue damage spell, because it deals damage for each creature for each damage that creature deals to its controller. And for the rare, oh nice! I think it's a high ending for this video, because this is the high pull of this set. This is Birds of Paradise. That's a really good pull, and actually the first one I ever pulled. And also a bit of trivia there. That picture was originally made by the artist to feature on the tropical island, so the blue-green dual land, but since they saw that the birds were really dominant in that picture, Richard Garfield created this card, Birds of Paradise. It flies, you can see the new tap symbol that was added in, that was created for 4th edition. You can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt. That is really cool. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this new series, TimeWalk. I hope you stay with me, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel if you want. The next episode is coming. Until then, see you next time. Hello, it's me again. I just came back for a little addendum because I looked it up and the rare in the Legends pack was actually the first card in the pack, so that was Disharmony. I did not know this card before. I think it's quite funny. I might use it in one of my EDH decks. Yeah, it's worth a bit. Sadly, not as much as the booster. It's worth a bit more than the Birds of Paradise, but these two cards are the top pulls that we got from these 5 packs. The revised pack sadly did not have a rare, and I'm not sure if that was a manufacturing error or if I got scammed. I don't know. Yeah, just want to let you know and hope you stay tuned for the next episode. Bye!